What is up, guys? This is a brief video. We are going to be breaking down arbitrage betting, how to make risk-free money sports betting. We're going to cover the pros, the cons. So I'll share this kind of presentation I put together. If you want to take a look at arbitrage betting, how to arbitrage bet, those sorts of things. So we'll kind of get into it. So again, arbitrage betting, risk-free money, how is it possible? Is it too good to be true? Everything like that we're going to cover in this video. So essentially what arbitrage betting is, right, is it's taking advantage of inefficiencies in the market. Every sports book sets lines independently, right? So they all have different odds from one another. So you can see here, like Florida, Utah, Florida plus 4.5 is plus 135 odds on Fliff. Pinnacle, another sports book, has it plus 125. And then you have a huge discrepancy on Resorts World. They have this at minus 110. So again, in sports betting, the market is really fragmented. If you think about the stock market, right, it's not like you go to E-Trade, Fidelity, and the price of Facebook is $200, $300. If that were possible, it would be really easy to be a day trader. But in sports betting, that is the case. All these books set lines independently. They move around lines independently. So long story short, when these sports books, when their models get really out of sync with one another, you can put on two bets on equal and opposite outcomes and make a risk-free profit, right? And I know it's crazy. It sounds crazy. It seems too good to be true. But all of these sports books, this one right here is called Fliff. All these sports books, you know, they all set lines independently. So if you take a look here, you're going to see Fliff Sportsbook. They have tons of different lines. Every book typically has like 10,000 different lines. So you can see on Fliff, there's all this different stuff. I mean, literally limitless things you can bet on. This is just the total points in one college football game. So when these books, when their lines get really out of sync, when their models screw up, you know, we can make a risk-free profit, right? So if you take a look here, you can see Underdog Fantasy has tens of thousands of lines as well. So we're looking for those few plays where a sportsbook's screwing up, right, where their line is super off from the market, and we can hedge it on another sportsbook to guarantee ourselves a risk-free profit. So to be an arbitrage bettor, what's up, guys? So to be an arbitrage bettor, the only requirement is you're going to need multiple sports books, right? You can do this anytime. You can do this from any state, but you're going to need multiple sports books, right? Because you're betting on, you know, equal and opposite sports books to guarantee yourself a risk-free profit. So why don't we go through a very simple example? So if you look here, and again, it's going to depend what sports books you have access to. You can see there's hundreds of sports books on OddsJam, but you may not have access to them all. But we'll go through an example of arbitrage right here. So Utah money line on this sportsbook Resorts World bet, which I believe is legal in, you know, New York. They have this line at minus 221. Again, it's crazy. All these books have different prices or different odds from one another. All these other books have this around like minus 280. Resorts World has this at minus 221. Circa has the line at plus 235 for the opposing team, the Florida Gators. So how can we turn this into a risk-free profit with the OddsJam arbitrage betting tool? And again, I included a promo code. If this video is helpful, you can try it out for yourself for 2 weeks free, not charged a dime. Make some risk-free money, see if it's something you want to do. And again, it's all possible because there's so many sports books out there and they're all trying to set lines independently. So the market is very fragmented or inefficient. So let's take a look. Let's go through this arbitrage play. So you can see Florida, right? The reason this is possible is all books set lines independently. So Florida is plus 235 odds on Circa. Utah is minus 221 odds on Resorts World, right? And we'll talk about the pros, the cons of arbitrage. Kind of the con is you have to move quickly, right? These are inefficiencies in the market, so they're not going to last forever. You really, really, really need to move as quickly as possible to get in on the best arbitrage opportunities. But you can see Circa, right? So let's kind of go through the math really quickly. So what we can do is, assuming, again, you're going to need both sports books, you're going to need to be logged into your sportsbook accounts, right? Circa and Resorts World. And ideally, you know how to navigate these books quickly, right? All these books have tens of thousands of lines. These are inefficiencies in the market. You're like a day trader, right? You got to move quickly to take advantage of these inefficiencies. So what we can do is we can pull up our little arbitrage calculator right here, right? And let's say our bankroll on Resorts World is $500, right? Let's say we say, okay, we want to put $500 on this play. And granted, right, so we've already gone through two downsides to arbitrage betting. I try to discuss the downsides as well. This is how I made my first $40,000 sports betting. So the downsides are you need to have multiple sports books. You got to move quickly, right, to get in on these arbitrage plays. So ideally, you know how to navigate these sports books. You're really day trading the sports books. And then the third thing is you don't know necessarily, you'll have to get a feel for it, how much these books will allow you to bet, right? The reason arbitrage still exists and will always exist in sports betting markets is all these books set lines independently. But you're going to see, like, I wouldn't be able to place this arbitrage bet for like $500,000, right? The markets aren't that liquid, right? Most sports books don't allow bet sizes much above a few $1,000s max. So you're not going to be able to bet this for like $500,000. So let's say you're able to bet it for $500. This arbitrage calculator, it tells us, hey, you're going to make, whoops. So let's go back here. Whoops. And here you can see there's some between DraftKings, Bovada. So again, you don't know where the best arbitrage bets are going to be on what sports books, stuff like that, which again is why I recommend having as many books as possible. But let's go back here. And let's say we're going to bet $500 on Resorts World. So $500 is going to be our stake. And then we'll just follow the calculator, right? Due to this massive inefficiency in the market, we're going to make a risk-free $9.45. And the calculator tells us, okay, if you want to bet $500 on Resorts World, you have to bet $216.79 on Circa in order to guarantee yourself a risk-free profit of $9.45. Now, you could round this to like $215, which let's do that. Again, it's kind of, you'll freak out. Like, it doesn't make sense to bet $216.79. That's such a random bet size. Just do $215, right? On Circa, 500 on Resorts World. Or let's say you want to bet this for $1,000, $433, $430 total. I mean, whatever, you get the point. Depending on what your bankroll is, let's say you only have a few $100s to start, you know, you're going to be making risk-free profits of $378, whatever. But we'll say $500 on Circa. We're betting this for $216.79, which will round to $215. So if you follow the calculator exactly, it doesn't matter which team wins. You're going to get a risk-free profit of $9.45. Either way, doesn't matter who wins. Your risk-free profit is static, right? You're earning $9.45 no matter what. By rounding the numbers, all it does is like shift the profits a bit depending on what team wins. So, okay, we have Florida and Utah. Pretty cool. So let's say Florida wins the game, and let's go through how this actually works. So let's say Florida wins, and then let's say Utah wins. Again, no one knows the future. We're not taking an opinion on the game. All we're doing is making a risk-free profit due to the discrepancy in bookmaker odds. You're going to need multiple sports books. You got to move quickly. And again, some sports books, they're not going to allow you to bet like $100,000. So some people are like, oh, this kind of sucks. I can't bet this for $500,000 and make $10,000 risk-free or 9.4K risk-free. It's like, no, but again, it will take you a minute, right? If you're really quick, right? When I got really quick and was really seriously arbitrage betting, it would take me like a couple of minutes to put on an arbitrage bet and make a risk-free profit of like $8, $9, $10, right? Which wasn't bad, graduating from college, not having a ton of money, making $10 risk-free in a couple of minutes, right? Go DoorDash some Chipotle. So what we can do now is just be like, okay, what's our profit going to be? So Circa profit, right? Resorts World profit. And then here we have net profit. And we can kind of go through the math and stuff like that as well. So one of these two teams is going to win the game, right? Florida's going to win or Utah's going to win. So if Florida wins the game, right, and we can bold these. If Florida wins the game, we bet $215 on Circa at plus 235 odds. So our profit is going to be 215 times 2.35, right? $505.25, right? And on Resorts World, we're down $500. So our net profit is going to be, $5. We're going to be up roughly $5. If Florida wins, we lose $500 on Resorts World, but we're up $505.25 on Circa. No brainer, right? We're up $5. Again, you got to move quickly. You got to have multiple sports books. But that, pretty good. $5 a profit. Now, what happens if Utah wins? Well, if Utah wins, we lose $215 on Circa. So in this case, we're down money on Circa, but our profit on Resorts World is $500. We bet this at minus 221 odds. So 500 divided by 221 is $226, and we're up 11, right? And again, the reason it's not exactly what the calculator says of 945 is because we're rounding a bit. But in either case, right, we make money. We're up profit, right? So you can kind of go through the math yourself. $500 at minus 221 odds is, again, just going to be 226 in profit if you know how these sportsbook odds work. So in both cases, we make money. So that's arbitrage betting for you. And what I used to do is I would get home from work, I'd pull up my computer, right, follow the calculator. Fliff's Sportsbook, for example, they only have a max bet size of $250. You'll see if you click this max button, it just tells you $250. So what I would do is I would get home from work, I would log into all my sportsbook accounts, Fliff, FanDuel, all these different books, try to get down these arbitrage trades, try to get down these arbitrage bets. So Fliff has a max bet size of $250. So if you hit this one, it's a really good profit, $29.76 risk-free. So this game is on Thursday, August 31st. So this game's a few days away, right? It's about a week away. So essentially, by the time it's August 31st, we're $30 richer. That's literally how it works. And what's great about this is your returns compound really quickly, right? So this arbitrage bet, sure, it's a little lower of a percentage, 1.11%, but still, this game is today. You're earning a 1% risk-free profit in a day, right? This game is going to be over in less than a day. This is going to be over. This game will be over by like 9 p.m., which is about 4.5 hours away. So let's say I have $250 on my Pinnacle, right? I make $6 risk-free, right? In just a few minutes, right? In 6 hours, I'll have $6 of profit risk-free. So that's pretty good. And again, you want to have as many sports books as possible as an arbitrage bettor. I'll see if there's any questions. I assume not a lot of people on right now. It's a Saturday night doing this on my own YouTube. But again, it's just a good strategy for making money, sports betting, risk-free money too. So it's not necessarily the most profitable strategy, but this is how I started betting. Made $40,000, built my bankroll, kind of learned about other strategies. And what I also like about it is it gives you confidence, right, that you can beat the sports books. Once you start arbitrage betting, you have multiple sports books, you know how to navigate them. Then it makes it clear, whoa, I can make money sports betting. So you can see there's arbitrage bets between DraftKings and Pinnacle. So if those are two sports books you have access to, in your location, that seems pretty good, right? Here's one between FanDuel and Fliff, Circa and Resorts World. So again, you're going to need as many sports books as possible, because if you don't have Fliff, this top arbitrage bet, it's not available to you, right? And again, I'm currently not in a state. Resorts World is a sports book in New York, but if I was in New York, I would arb this. I would make $30 risk-free, right? And then I would go to the next one in the same game. I would arb this for the max I could, make $10 risk-free, and you're good to go. And some people will say, oh, but if you make money, sportsbooks may cut down your bet sizes. If you make money in any way, sportsbooks may cut down your bet sizes. So you'll note on Underdog Fantasy, they only let me bet $100 max bet size, right? So your options are very simple. Lose money sports betting, lose money, right? And you can bet whatever you want. Or if you make money, you may have some betting limits around $100 or whatever. On Fliff, I can do $250, right? So that's good. But even on a sports book with an $100 max bet size, there's still some arbitrage plays that are pretty good. I mean, $4 risk-free for just logging into a sports book and placing a quick little bet. That's a no-brainer, right? So that's kind of how arbitrage betting works. Just doing a tutorial. Again, the more sports books you have, the better. More books, more arbitrage opportunities. Very simple. So here's a good one between DraftKings and Bovada. Again, I'm currently not in a state where DraftKings is legal. So I'm not going to be able to place this one. But again, pull up the calculator, lock it in for whatever you can, 250, 203.70. You make a risk-free profit of $4, move on to the next one. So hopefully this was helpful. Just a quick little tutorial. See you guys soon.